This week, we've got fresh announcements from Pioneer with a brand new top-of-the-line radio. MB QUART releases new audio roof kits for Polaris. MSC and Helix with a brand new 8-inch driver. And Wet Sounds with a whole new setup for Wrangler enthusiasts. This is CMA Live All Access, brought to you by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5 Axis Innovations. And it starts now. Huge news in the radio category as Pioneer introduces a brand new flagship receiver. This is called the DMH WT6000 NEX, and let me tell you, it's packing a punch with tons of new technology and features that we were not expecting. We go now to their product expert, Robert Money, who's standing by. Robert, tell us all about this fantastic new top-of-the-line unit from Pioneer.
Hi, Ben. I'm really excited to be with all of you today to introduce the new DMH WT6000 NEX. I think the best word to qualify that piece will be, this is a beast. So let's jump into the detail right now. Hang tight. We have a lot of things to cover today with you. Okay, guys, let's take a look at the new flagship receivers from Pioneer that is just received into our warehouse. We're doing the deliveries by now, so stay tuned. There's a lot to cover, as I mentioned. So we have that new piece that is integrating a lot of novelty, a lot of features. So when we did the design to create the new unit, we start from scratch with all the knowledge we have. So we create a motto, which is CESX, in a way to have those keywords in mindset top of our head each time that we were adding features or creating something for the new unit, in a way to create something that is easy to use, something that will create great, not to say amazing, sound quality, something that will be also safer to use on daily use, but not just for the user interaction, but other aspect of it. So we're expanding the things out of the typical AV receivers. And of course, the expandability, which means overbuild design in a way to have that unit be with you, stay with you for a long time, in a way to implement new features with the help of a new companion app. So that is the new DMH WT6000. So one of the key things as an element, as an example, is we address key points where lots of customers are struggling when they're using their AV receivers in the car. One of it is, as a great example, is using CarPlay maps. So people are comfortable within the ecosystem, but as soon as they want to go out of it, or they need to go out of it for doing, as an example, tuning the sound in the car, basically they are just lost. So it's complicated for them. It's not easy, and most of the time because they're not reading the manual. But yeah, this is sometimes a complicated task. So we have a solution for that and way more. So this is a fully equipped flagship with all the features you may look for. It is actually a 10.1 inches with great quality displays, high contrast, high visibility, with a pretty responsive touchscreen, really high responsive unit, pretty fast on reaction. We have a quick control swipe, so that is basically letting you to change between the app mode, CarPlay, Android Auto, and the main menu of this screen, so easy access on the fly. We're also adding this here a quick and easy volume button on the top. So basically that's the same type of interaction you do with the smartphone. So we just move that into the car AV receivers. And of course, we have the mute button on the other side that make the things safer to use on a daily basis while you drive. We have different mode in a way to help you have a better readability, better visual help on the light mode and the dark mode. So basically you can configure it the way you want it, night driving, day driving, or manually switch to a mode that you prefer based on your taste. We also have all the integration of the advanced data communication with the vehicle, so deeper integration with the car. Let's say, as an example, Ford climate control. So we do both Maestro RR, which is the industry reference in Sears, but we also have, as an exclusive integration, the Access Integrate module, which is pretty much the same features as you can do with the Maestro RR. So giving you two options instead of only one, like the industries is actually doing. We do all the connectivities that you know, CarPlay, Android Auto, wired or wireless. For the one to do more or different, we do WebLink, and of course, we have all the feature set from RDS radio, HD radio, and of course, Sirius XM interface. So basically, look for a source. The answers will be 99% yes. We've added another great things from things that we integrate in June this year with the side quick access menu on the main menu. But with this unit, because it's a bigger screen, we are able to implement that quick access menu on the side of the bar to be also available from CarPlay interface. So instead of having to go out of CarPlay interface while you are on the map, as an example, then you can directly switch the tuner source, change the control of the climate control, like the temperature, directly within the Apple CarPlay information. So that is a first in the industries. So way more easier, way more safer to use. And at the top, that is one of the big news, industry first. We have the new Pioneer Luminous Bar. Actually, that luminous bar can do a lot of things, but the first and top features of the luminous bar is a turn bar and guidance that is working with Apple CarPlay for iOS users, or Android Auto and Waze for the Android Auto users. So basically, what the things will do is, as soon as you will be closer to the next exit or turn, the system will switch to a green shrinking bar in a way to grab your attention visually. And the closer you move to the exit, it will switch to a scroll mode. So basically, that will give you a visual guidance to help you on the navigation. So even if your navigation is on mute, you can do it. So that's really great. Of course, this is luminous bar, so we can do different kind of cool things with it. So while the car will be parked, that luminous bar have features that you can activate with different mode to sync on your music. So based on the type of music that you have or the mode that you select, the luminous bar will blink this way. Same thing for having an interaction with Alexa or different type of things. So while you're driving, in a way to avoid any confusion, that will sync with the same color mode as the left button on the system. So pretty cool features, pretty unique features. Top of that, why not? So while the car is parked, you can activate also a red LED blinker that will mimicking a security system. So another great cool features. But that is one part of it. Those are already great. So let's jump into the techie stuff, which is really amazing for the geek in you, so the audio lover. So we have in that unit the largest power supply in a Pioneer Ed unit. So this is by far the strongest power supply. In fact, the power supply is so big that even some amplifiers, external amplifiers on the market, don't have that capacitor bank inside of the unit. So which means better filtration, better signal to noise ratio, and lots of improvement for audio quality on that side. So basically, power supply is feeding the power for all chips. So that is really important. Top of that, we're having a stronger processing power. So we're having now, instead of one dual core processor, which is typical case in the industries, we have a main processor that is a quad core 64-bit architectures processors, and he's working in partnership with a co-processor that is a 32-bit dual core. So that's why that thing is a beast. So actually, those type of architectures is the type of thing you will see in good computers at home, even for business application with graphic control. Or as an example, the greatest and the latest big smartphone that they just introduced in 2024. And it's not stopped there. So we're having a 16 gig LDDR4 RAM built in that piece. So that is twice the speed as the other RAM that we have in the other unit. Actually, this is 4 times the RAM that we have in the top of the line unit that the 6000 is replacing. So this is screaming speed. This is crazy fast processing. And again, we push this further for the audio quality. So our main processor is so strong that we can rely on it to do the other processing. But instead of that, we decided to move in a way to have our home design with a specific chip that is a dual 48-bit processors that is doing only the audio DSP part of that. And we merged that with a specific high voltage RCA output that are showing a crazy ultra low total harmonic distortion, so which means better sound quality again. So this is what we call the lifelike sound. This is the type of unit that you will like to listen no matter the source, no matter what you are doing, because we're looking actually at every single step. So we also took time to implement the advanced sound retriever, which is a must right now for the streaming option. So any compressed source, we will do a mathematical analysis of the harmonic in a way to recreate back what should be there, and not doing any static type of boost, which will be unnatural. We also have in the unit automatic sound levelizer, which basically will adjust the volume of the unit based on your speed, because we're tracking it with the GPS on the car. And last but not least, we implement a new Wi-Fi chipset, a new dedicated power supply for that chipset. So we're not only stronger, better, but we're also cleaner. In fact, we're so clean that this unit on wireless CarPlay sound better than many unit that I've tested so far on wired version. So we can say now that Pioneer is reducing the gap, and we're, if not better than that, we're able to bring the audio quality into the wireless world, which is most of the time a trade-off. So it's hard to have both convenient and quality at the same time. But I think we did it with that piece. I'm really impressed with the sound quality of that piece. And another great features about expandability is the PX Link app that we just bring to the market with that piece. So you will be able to customize your unit with it. You will be able also to do control of your AV receiver. So think about as a Bluetooth remote control from your smartphone. So basically it's a third screen as well. So if you want to expand the GUI on the main AV receivers to use it on a full space, you can use the smartphone in a cradle as a second screen to do the control of the quick access menu instead of having it in the unit itself. So you can do a lot of things. And last but not least, you will also receive notification if we have any firmware update, so we can proceed it wirelessly, and notification on tips on how to improve the work that you do on your daily basis, like how to tune your audio system. So those are all the great features that you will have within that new flagship. This was the DMH-WT 6000 NEX from Pioneer, and it's shipping now.
Now, as you can see, guys, I didn't get a lot in on this conversation because there's simply so much to talk about with this brand new unit from Pioneer. If you're just tuning in, brand new flagship unit, ridiculous amount of upgrades from the luminous bar to the chipset to the memory to the app to improving wireless performance for audio. Robert, we're going to take the time to circle back and really dig in because the geek in me can't help it. But for now, like you said, it's shipping now, it's available now. Guys, check it out. The new Pioneer 6000 NEX. Whew, this is going to be a hot piece.
Hi, Jody from 5Axis here. Just want to bring everybody up to speed with what we do and how we do it. We're a display company. We do a lot of custom graphics. Obviously, we do custom audio boards. We do RGB lighting. We do graphical work up top. We also do all the different custom amp mounts. So for all your store needs, we do front counters, we do home audio sections, we do lighting. Everything that you're looking for, give us a call. Again, it's 5Axis, 414-326-7162.
So hot off the introduction of the brand new Helix Compose line of speakers by MSC comes a brand new addition to the collection, but this time in the form factor that is a unique 8-inch driver. To find out more, we're now going to connect with the DSP cowboy himself, Chris Van Rye. Chris, welcome to CMA Live. Again, another big announcement for the Helix Compose line. What can you tell us about this new 8-inch driver?
Ben, super happy to be here as always, and over the moon to be able to share with you guys the new product coming from Helix in the Compose lineup, the all new i5 series, the first piece to come into that that's going to completely shake up how we look at how we use mid-bass drivers in cars.
All right, Chris. So let's break it down. Let's take a look at what this unit looks like. I'm not sure what to expect, to be honest with you, but let's take a look at this new 8-inch driver. This is going to be in the i5 series, which is really a problem-solving kind of integration set within the suite of products of Helix Compose. So, Chris, break it down for us. Let's look at the physicality and talk to us about some of the specs.
That's absolutely right, Ben. The i5 category is there specifically for some of the unique products that let us do really cool things that maybe don't fit in the traditional naming structure of the i7, the i3, or the basic. What we've got today here is the CI3 S200. This is a all-new, ground-up 8-inch driver. This is what we call a hybrid design on these guys here. So this finally walks the line between both mid-bass driver and subwoofer. We see parameters that are kind of in the middle that let you do some really cool stuff. One of the biggest things that really allows a nice, easy installation is we have the option for an incredibly shallow mounting depth, right? It gives us the ability to get these in a variety of different vehicles and applications. But with these, as we've got the traditional flex mount design around the outside, that unique platform that lets us easily integrate universal speakers into vehicles with vehicle-specific applications, it allows us to now tie this in as a direct replacement woofer in addition to being that universal platform. Things like BMW and Mercedes that use aperiodic OEM designs lets us dig into the flex mount compatibility. This is for the new Mercedes, that new firewall woofer. We've always been fairly limited with options with those guys, but now because of flex mount, not only do we have the i3 and the i7 solutions for those, but we've also got this i5. And what we get to accomplish with this is absolutely incredible. 200 watts RMS power handling on these guys, available as a single 2-ohm or a dual 2-ohm voice coil configuration for your installation versatility, and an FS, depending on which version you choose, right around 50 hertz. So we're left with something that plays incredibly deep. The 90 dB sensitivity ensures that it's going to get up and go for you, and 200 watts power handling means you're going to have a ton of fun factor piled in here.
Well, first off, very cool design. I can see just how shallow that driver is. So for sure, fitment, no problem when it comes to depth. Now, you mentioned obviously that this fits into, situations with the flex mount and the Mercedes. What other potential platforms could this be a solution for?
Absolutely, Ben. We touched on the Mercedes a little bit there. An incredibly cool design, a very complex mount for those guys. And even in that platform, it actually includes the aluminum grill for it to keep everything protected. But we're not just limited to Mercedes. This flex mount concept is spread across the entire lineup. We've also got, of course, access to BMW, the original direct replacement subwoofer solution. These guys are even built so that the harness can plug straight into it and you can wire right into your new woofer that's going in there. But we're not limited to those applications either. Porsche, Audi, Tesla, all of the other companies that are using 8-inch in the door, we've got flex mount capability ready to go for them. Above and beyond that, we're not even limited to 8-inch. A lot of the new vehicle manufacturers are using a 6x9 in the door. When we look at Ford, and GM, and Toyota, and Dodge, and all of those guys that are using 6x9s, flex mount allows you to adapt all of those applications as well to take full advantage of everything this woofer is capable of in as many applications as possible.
So what I'm hearing here, Chris, is just the flex mount is a fantastic godsend when it comes to keeping inventory for dealers because you've got one solution that fits in so many different places. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, Chris. I know that if Helix is going to put some engineering time and resources into developing something as unique as this, they're going to look at specs. And if you look at the marketplace, you're looking at 8-inch drivers. I'm going to be honest, there's not a whole lot out there as far as what we can compare it to, but I'd like to hear your thoughts of as far as its performance versus some of the other options that may be available.
Absolutely, Ben. As with everything that Helix does, there's a lot of R&D time and research that goes into releasing a new product, and this is no different. One of the biggest things we looked at was the most common applications for these drivers, and that Mercedes and BMW platform was absolutely number one. And if we talk comparisons, BMW has definitely been the one that people are the most familiar with. Our match lineup actually provides one of the most popular upgrades as far as direct replacements for BMW underseat woofers. i5 far exceeds possibilities of what we were seeing with what was already considered one of the industry's best. This woofer below 60 hertz generates another 4 to 5 decibels of output. So in that very, very bottom end, the lowest extensions of what we're looking for from those woofers, we're seeing more output, more impact, and more energy across the board. This upgrade is no slouch by any stretch, and especially if you're going to put some big power through this thing, buckle up and get ready for it because this thing rocks.
All right, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the release by MSC of a brand new and very interesting 8-inch driver by Helix as part of the Compose line. Chris, wrap it up for us. When is this available? When can dealers get their hands on it?
Ben, we're absolutely excited. A brand new product always has a lot of pent up demand for it. This was no doubt. But the good news is this guy is in stock right now. Both the single and dual voice coil variations are available for you, your customer, your shop, and your demo car. So if you're looking to get your hands on these guys, make sure you get to us at msc-america.com. For even more details on the unit itself, you can visit the team in Germany at audiotech-fischer.com for everything you need to know.
Hi, Paul Truman here with SiriusXM. We reached out to some of our partners in the industry, and here's what they had to say.
I can't say more or enough about just what it means to have our unit working with SiriusXM. It's like we're there now.
The SiriusXM service is something consumers want, right? So it's Paul.
That allows a consumer to listen to either podcasts, entertainment, sports, all at their fingertips. It's all about engagement, and that's what SiriusXM provides.
SiriusXM is a huge component in a vehicle nowadays. Consumers expect that technology to be available both in our OEM system as well as the aftermarket upgrades that they're applying to their vehicle.
Alpine and SiriusXM, through our electronics, are able to offer the consumer on the aftermarket side SiriusXM 360L, which is an expanded platform for SiriusXM. And it's really been a beneficial relationship for us with SiriusXM.
As a dealer, just remember, we don't compete with anybody else. We are absolutely one of the best profitability accessories you can add to any head unit that is SiriusXM ready.
Now, it's no secret that MB QUART has been non-stop developing product for the power sports market. But news this week, a brand new audio roof solution when it comes to Polaris vehicles. Now, we're going to get the goods. We're going to our man, Rob Anderson at MB QUART. Rob, this is a big one. Not only is it a big announcement, but these are big products. So I'm hoping we get to see what these roof kits actually look like.
Of course, Ben. I'm very excited today to be talking about our brand new MB QUART UTV audio roof lines. We're launching here with the Polaris Ranger platform, which you see behind me, and the Polaris Razor Trail applications. This is a new category for us, but we've been here before with some OEM product, but this is refined, packaged well, feature packed, and I can't wait to get in with you today.
Wow, I can tell right away that those are packing a ton of different features. But hold on, let's slow down. Before we get into the feature set, you mentioned that these are for the Polaris platforms. Now, are there different models available, or is it only one roof kit per platform?
Great question. So we have a good, better, best model structure here. The good starting off with our GMR LCD version of the source unit with just speakers set up, but then we go up to our premium offerings where we accommodate obviously for Polaris Ride Command and the ultra premium setup where we utilize the GMR7 V1 source unit, the CarPlay, Android Auto source unit is kind of taken over the industry by storm. So we have options for every type of application and buyer.
All right, so you heard it first. Ride Command, guys, don't worry about it. MB Court has got you covered. But let's talk about that GMR7 real quick. We've obviously talked about this unit many, many times. But in this application, there's a couple things we definitely want to point out. I noticed different lighting things going on. So talk to us about the different type of control features that the GMR7 provides these roof kits.
Well, let's take a look at the GMR7 source unit itself. So from here, we're going to control a bunch of different things that are built into the audio roof system. We have obviously RGB lighting that's cycling through right now, but in that menu system, in the source unit, we could control it via where it auto cycles, what it's doing right now, or we can have it on a solid color like red, blue, green, whatever color matches your rig. Also, one of the things that is on the premium options here is a half optic light bar. So like we've talked about in the past about this source unit on this channel, we have auxiliary switching control built in. So we're controlling that for the half optic, and then we leave 3 additional circuits where you can tap into any relay controlled 12-volt accessories that you have on your UTV.
So many things to love about that GMR7. You mentioned Android Auto and CarPlay, but of course the switching capabilities, the lighting control you demonstrated right there, Rob. This is awesome. Now I know there's some extra hidden features here when you get depending on which model you get, but the GMR7 is such a unit that has so much functionality. What else have you done to take advantage of that?
Well, yeah, this thing has a lot of hidden features, and one of them is on the premium models, we have a backup camera that is controlled via this front button on the source unit. So you could actually see up your backup camera and control that whenever you want via a touch on that screen. A couple other talking points, us versus maybe the competitors on the market, is that our enclosures for the roof systems themselves utilize HDPE, high density polyethylene, where most of the competitors are utilizing either a fiberglass material where, all right, when you're gonna go out in the trails and the backcountry, a tree branch could cause some pretty significant damage to a fiberglass roof. HDPE is designed to take that beating and to be a solid, rigid structure so that we can give the audio system a nice, rigid foundation to perform on. Another big talking point is that for the Polaris Ranger and Polaris Razor Trail applications, it is a plug-and-play install. So no cutting, no splicing, run power down your A pillar and plug right into that Polaris Pulse power system, and it is as simple as maybe a 30 to 45-minute install.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking about MB QUART introducing some brand new audio roof solutions for Polaris side-by-sides. Now, of course, we've talked about features, we talked about the GMR7 source unit, and of course, we're talking about some materials, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the sound. What are we talking about as far as drivers in this system, Rob?
Well, of course we have to talk audio, right? We're MB QUART. So let's talk about the 4-passenger setup we have here. All of the materials and all of the products that I'm going to talk about are included on every premium option, but then the speakers and the other kind of individual components are kind of pieced together here and there for all the applications. So for this 4P passenger Polaris Ranger edition, we have 6.5-inch coaxial speakers. These are specifically designed for this application, waterproof, willing to withstand all the elements and kind of the conditions you throw at it. We have 12 of them, 6 in the front panel here, 6 in the back panel here. We have an application-specific 10-inch subwoofer. This is designed to perform in a low airspace, but have a long throw and performance. So one 10-inch here, one 10-inch in the rear section here, and then we have two 500-watt, 5-channel digital class amplifiers, obviously one for the front and one for the back. When we go into the Polaris Razor Trail models, we have that broken down where it's 6.5-inch coaxial speakers, one 10-inch subwoofer, and one 500-watt amplifier to power the whole system.
First of all, Rob, I want to thank you for taking time to set up this display. We really get a sense of not only the overall size of these roof kits, but also what they look like, what they feel like, and some of those cool lighting features as well. All right, I got some really important questions, and this is where we're going to close it out. A, what is the availability of these units? And what does this mean for MB Cord? Is this a new category that might see some growth as we move forward?
Of course. So we're very excited about this category. All of the Polaris Razor Trail, the Polaris Ranger are available now. They're in our warehouse, ready to go out to you. If you're a dealer, you definitely want to reach out to us and talk about the dealer display program, but learn more about the applications that are covered, all the model years at mbquart.com. We have a full landing page for all the UTV audio roofs, and I would keep your eyes out and definitely be following our social media and all of our social channels so you can kind of get in the know-how for maybe some additional applications that are right behind these two launching this week. So we're very excited. There's going to be a big kind of category growth for us in this UTV audio roofs, so we're excited.
CE Outlook is dedicated to keeping the car audio and electronics industry informed on the latest issues, trends, and product releases. New feature stories posted daily. Visit ceoutlook.com for the latest industry news. Now, we all know the brand Wet Sounds when it comes to marine audio, and you know as of late they've been expanding into other categories. Well, the news this week is that they are releasing a brand new all-inclusive plug-and-play sound system upgrade for Jeep Wrangler. And what's more, it comes in more than one stage to give consumers an amazing option for incredible sound in their Jeep. We go now to their product expert, Carl Campbell, to tell us more. Now, Carl, this has been kind of a long time coming. It's something really exciting. We had the chance to see, I guess, an earlier version of this back at MasterTech. What can you tell us about this new kit for Jeep Wrangler?
Well, we are all really excited here at Wet Sounds, Ben, about the new Jeep kit finally hitting the ground and shipping out to our dealers. It's got our state-of-the-art Zero drivers that are in the front and rear of the vehicle, our Zero subwoofers. It's just a great two-stage kit that a customer can build to have both stages, and they can, do it as they can afford the system.
All right, Carl, let's break it down for everybody. So what I want you to do here is explain just how well thought out, well planned, and ultimately well designed this system is. So let's start with stage one. This is kind of like your base kit that literally comes with everything. So walk us through what is involved with this kit from the front to the back.
So, Ben, when you talk about stage one you have to have before you can even add stage two. But if you look at all the components of stage one, the most crucial part is where it starts right up front under the hood with the distribution block system we provide with the kit. It's got inputs for your stage one wiring, your stage two wiring, but we also leave two open inputs on that distribution block in case you might want to add some light bars or extra whatever for your Jeep. Everyone always accessorizes their Jeep. So we actually give you 2 extra points to accessorize your Jeep continually as you move forward with your vehicle. Up front, you've got 6.5 components, Zero speakers that are only available right now in the Jeep kit. They will eventually be able to be sold as an aftermarket product, but right now you can only get them in the Jeep kit with stage one. It comes with the oversized compartments that the Zero speakers fit into because they replace the 4-inch factory speaker, and our 6.5 goes in there. When you go to the A-pillar across the top, we have 6x9 Zero speakers. Once again, only available in the Jeep kit. They will be available shortly for resale, but right now, only available in the Jeep kit. So the Jeep kit kind of gives you some products that you can only get for your Jeep. And then when you go to the rear of the vehicle, you've got the sub enclosure with the dual 12 Zero shallow mount 12s and the 6-channel amplifier that's back there. And let's not forget the harness that all comes pre-cut, pre-terminated, pre-wired, so that all you have to do is run this harness and it makes installation a breeze for your installers out there in the marketplace.
Now, we had the opportunity to shoot that demo vehicle, like I mentioned, back in MasterTech and the kind of like the first generation of this kit. But I want to draw your attention to a couple of details. One that I was really particularly fond of were the tweeter pods, how custom they are, how perfect they fit. And like Carl said, you're optimizing the sound by enlarging the speakers that, obviously we know the factory ones are really tiny and they kind of suck. These Zeros do not suck. And I mean, really big output coming back from those enclosures. But if you're a bass head and you want some serious output, guess what? Wet Sound's got you covered because, Carl, tell them about what they get in stage 2.
So you're right, Ben. Stage 2 is an incredible part of the system. Now, you do, like I said, have to have stage 1, but the great thing is stage 2 plugs right into the stage 1 harness, and it's a very quick add-on to stage 1 once you have it in place. You get 2 Rev 12 HD tower speakers that normally you find on, your ski boats and your wakeboard boats. And you get a 4-channel amplifier that's bridged down for over 1,000 watts of power that runs to these to push these things so that you can just back the Jeep right up to the beach, up to the campsite, to the park, open up the back hatch, and now you can play music across the baseball field, wherever you're at. You can fill the whole acres of sound with music from your Jeep. So it gives you a couple of great opportunities if you're using your Jeep for more than just audio inside the vehicle. But we also include a secondary volume knob for stage 2. So you can kill the volume from that while you're in it, so you're not ripping your head off with those 12 those Rev 12 HDs in the back of the vehicle.
Again, Carl, I'm going to take this opportunity to point out another nifty feature that I saw with that install with the stage 2 and the whole everything happening in the back end. And that is that very unique amp rack that's designed. Is that included with the kit?
Yes, it is, Ben. It's designed to fit 2018 through 2023 Jeep JLs. You do get the amp rack kit with the stage 1 of the kit. It's on the piston shocks to raise the sub enclosure up and down. And if you notice, when you close the enclosure, we take the mounting points from the back of the Jeep and reincorporate the bungee toggles back into our sub enclosure. So you can use the sub enclosure to bungee cord down your coolers, all your camping gear. We wanted to make this sub enclosure very user friendly and feel like you're not losing all the space you have in a Jeep, which is kind of limited to begin with.
Very smart use of space, and again, great design elements here coming to you from Wet Sounds. Again, we're talking about a brand new Jeep sound system upgrade from Wet Sounds for your Jeep Wrangler. You were mentioning about the enclosure. I want to kind of zone in on that a little bit. These are not your run-of-the-mill, MDF square enclosures with carpeting. No. These are specially designed roto-molded enclosures. And Carl, I want you to speak to that a little bit.
So you're exactly correct, Ben. The rotomodal enclosure is designed specifically for the 012 subwoofers. And when you mount the 012 sub into the rotomold enclosure, there's a pinpoint where you put a screw through the back of the rotomold enclosure into the rear magnet of the speaker. And this helps the rigidity of the box stay firm and tight to give you the best bass response you could possibly get out of those speakers. It is a very specific design that everyone in the R&D department at Wet Sounds is very proud of.
So there you have it. A brand new, complete plug and play, everything thought about sound system coming to you from Wet Sounds for Jeep Wrangler, both available in a stage 1 as well as a ridiculous upgraded stage 2 kit with 2 Rev 12 tower speakers. Carl, when is this available? Can dealers get their hands on it right now? And where should people go to get more info?
We are shipping the pre-orders out right now to our dealers. I've actually even fielded a couple of phone calls this week on some install questions a few of the installers have had with these kits. So they're out in the environment, in the marketplace, but we have them available at our warehouse. All they have to do is call our sales pit at our 800 number for Wet Sounds, which you can find at our Wet Sounds website, which is wetsounds.com.
There's an incredibly strong network of distributors across Canada, and today we're here at CMA Expo to speak with them and get a sense of how they feel about their partnership with SiriusXM.
SiriusXM helps connect our industry because we are reproducing music. We are delivering content in a different way. We deliver hard parts to consumer. They deliver us the content on those hard parts.
It's a great add-on for the head unit sale, and it's pretty much just a natural addition now to offer it to the customer after they purchase a new head unit for their car.
As a distributor of SiriusXM, we all benefit. As partners, they offer and bring to the table the love of music. We're all in this industry because ultimately we love music.
They've been a great partner, and they've actually created a lot of excitement again in the industry.
It really brings the whole industry together, and it's music-based. It's great. You know, that's what we do. We sell music. They provide content. It's fabulous.
And that's a wrap on this edition of CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5-Axis Innovations. Make sure to check out all our videos at cmanetworks.com. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We'll see you next Saturday.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.